Welcome everybody to TruExact Show. I'm here with Brian, Erik, Elly, and our special guest, somebody who I've been a fan of, 13 years now. The one, the only, SAHTYRE. How you doing, man?
Yo, man, I'm fucking amazing, man. I appreciate y'all having me on, for real. That shit means a lot. 13 years, that's like pretty much as long as my career is, so that's fucking
Hey,
crazy.
man, well, when I first found out, little background, I used to go to community college, Radnor Valley, RVCC for life, Golden Line until I die. So, and instead of doing my homework, I'd sneak into the computer lab and watch the WRCs. So that's
Yo,
probably why it took me 4 years to graduate a 2-year college, but that's beside the
yo,
point.
hey, it's fucking well worth it, I think. Shit.
Exactly. So you and Dumbfounded were a team, and just the West Coast. I watched all of them, so I was a big fan. But before we get into all your stuff and newer stuff coming out, first we'd like to get like a background on like how you got
Yeah.
into actually rapping, your influences, like the first time you like felt like, oh, I got to pick up a mic and do this, man.
Well, it's kind of weird because when you really look back on it, from the time I was, from the time I could read and write, from the time I was like 3 years old, I was writing poems. I was writing stories and shit. Nobody told me to do it. You know what I mean? Like I liked doing it. I would get read to by my mom and my grandma and whatnot. And as early as I could read and write, which was actually kind of crazy story too, because it was way earlier than my mom and my granny knew, because I was like hella quiet, ironically, as a young like baby, and they damn near thought like I might be like something, maybe mentally different or something, because I was so quiet. And I was around 3, and I was also hyperactive, just not talkative or anything like that. So my mom was trying to get me out of her hair for various reasons, and she ended up making a fake birth certificate to get me into kindergarten at 3 years old instead of 5. So I'm in kindergarten, and then fast forward, my granny comes to pick me up one day, and she walks in. I don't know what's going on, and she sees me reading to the class, like on some show and tell shit or whatever. And my granny's tripping because she literally has no clue that she doesn't know that I can read. You know what I mean? Like, and they've been reading to me, and they've been doing, but see, I'm also playing Zelda and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Going through the menus, and like that shit like that shit's real. And so, as crazy as it sounds, I started to teach myself how to read with the help of my mom reading to me and shit like that, and they didn't even know it. And my fucking grandma popped in like, yo, this boy, he knows how to read. Like, my mama didn't know it, my granny didn't know it. And so from the beginning, I was fascinated with language, I guess, and so as soon as I could write, I was writing stories about my little brother, about my family, about fantastical fucking nonsensical child shit, and I was winning spelling bees in fucking middle school, shit like that. All these things like connect in hindsight, in retrospect. Like, I liked English class. In college, the only fucking classes I went to was psychology and English. You feel me? By the time I was, I'd say about 11 or 12, I was full on nigga, thought I was a poet, all that shit, hella writings, all that. Loved English, always excelled in that, no matter how like, a class clown or whatever I might be in my other subjects, or like talk out of turn or whatnot. I always was good in English. And the teachers always seen that potential there, because like regardless of me fucking up for whatever reason, I was gonna be there on spelling test day, and I was gonna get a motherfucking 100%. You feel me? Like, I was ready to, like, I cared about that shit.
Yeah.
Math test, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck, nigga.
Right.
Spelling bee, spelling test, new vocabulary words, Shakespearean, pentameters, nigga, I'm on that, and I always was like that. You feel me? So it wasn't until about, I want to say it was like 10th grade. No. It was 9th grade, actually. I was riding the bench. I was riding the bench on varsity. I was playing JV at Eisenhower out in the IE. I lived out in the IE, which is like about an hour east of LA. I've lived all over the fucking LA.
Imperial Valley?
Yeah, like so I was in I went to Eisenhower, which is in Rialto. So
Okay.
so I lived out there for like a back and forth. I moved around a lot. But while we was on the bus going wherever we was going to fucking play tournaments, I had a crazy basketball team. There was just one homie in the team named Erik Spencer. Shout out my nigga E. Spencer. And he had bars like, he was the first motherfucker I knew that had bars like in person. You know what I mean? Like the first person I knew. And so he was the only one that rapped, and every day on the bus or whenever we went on trips, whatever, he would, you know, rap about people, aka battle rap or whatever. We didn't know it. It wasn't called nothing like that. It was just fucking rapping, you know what I'm saying? But he would be clowning people, whatever. And I didn't like that shit. Plus, I low-key had bars too, but nobody knew. You know what I mean? They wasn't rap bars, but they was, because I could write and I could rhyme. I just never like put it like that. And so I fucking wrote some rhymes because I knew it was coming, you feel me? And eventually the day came. He says something, you know, the bus goes crazy. Nobody ever says nothing back. He just gets on everybody and then that's it. He's the star, you feel me? And so he says something, they quiet down, and then I hit him with something I'll never remember. It was probably fucking weak, but it was real. You feel me? And plus nobody ever did that. And the whole bus went crazy, obviously. And then I felt my little, you know, like 15 seconds of fame, like, oh shit, this is crazy. Like, you know, and that was like probably really my first, as far as rap is concerned, my first like feeling of that praise, of that like camaraderie, of like being able to say something and get everybody to feel the same way. You know what I mean? And like I had, again, did that for a younger age of spelling bees, or I was on debate teams and shit like that. But I never equated it to that yet until I got older. And then I started listening to Raucous Records shit, you know, Sound Bombings and Mos Def and Talib and Eminem and Redman and fucking all those motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, like, oh, there's motherfuckers that are crazy, you know what I mean? And I was already a student of the game, as far as, like I was saying, I've been fucked with studying the literal, you know, pentameters and breakdowns and rhyme schemes of motherfuckers like Shakespeare and shit from a younger age. Like, I was the only motherfucking English class that cared about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the only, the kid that I cared about that shit.
So you were breaking down Shakespeare to the teacher. Look at these multis here.
They're trying to teach me about stresses on and off, you know, 11 and 13 syllable pentameters and shit. I'm like, yo, y'all don't even realize your shit's wrong. Like, it's not an ABBA. It's actually an ABCCAB. Nigga, there's a D in there. You know what I mean? They're like, damn, he's damn near right. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I always saw it in a different way like that, and was fascinated by it. So once it became like, once I seen this different side of it, this rhythmic, you know, the musical side of it with the poetry, I'm like, oh, damn, this is definitely something that I think is dope and that I could do, you know? And I'd say, you know, I can't really tell the timeline, but somewhere around that time is when I moved back to LA. I was living in Long Beach, going to Milliken High, and I somehow connected with it's probably over a message board. I think it was over rapmusic.com damn near. I connected with Kale from customer service, which is like, we used to be like one of the biggest like young rap crews, nigga, underground niggas from the blow with No Can Do.
Is that Kale. No Can Do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Kale, who's one of the greatest rappers, freestylers, and rappers period of all time for it, which so is James No Can. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but somehow through that message board, I'm pretty sure me and him ended up aiming. Bro, I'm 13 years old at the time. Remember, I'm 2 years younger than my class always. So if I was supposed to be 16, I was always 14. So I was like 13, 14. And Kale's like, oh, like you're serving people at your, you know, high school or whatever, but you don't know shit about rapping. You know what I mean? Like, you have to come here if you really want to be good. And he's talking about the blow. And I'm 13, bro. There's no way. I think there's no way that can happen. But shit happens that, you know, shit happens. So, long story short, my homie Randy, who's probably 16 or 15, whatever he was supposed to really be, whatever age I was supposed to be in that class, he was. He was like 15, 16, getting the permit, all that shit. He used to steal his pops. His pops worked graveyard shit. He used to steal his pops' fucking van, bro. 9:30. We don't have cell phones, mind you. Nigga, synchronize your watches. Hop out the window, sneaking out at 9:45, be on the corner at 10. I'm hopping in the van, and we're going to the blow, bro. We 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, we driving an hour out to go to the blow so that we could be amongst these be in the mecca of this culture, in the heart of Leimert Park, with some of the most, you know, remarkable wizards of all time, with people like No Can, people like Otherwise, who beat Eminem in the Rap Olympics out there, people like Bus Driver, you know, 2Mex, the whole Freestyle Fellowship, fucking Open Mike Eagle, Dumbfounded, all these, like, anyone I can name, you know, and that just transformed who I was as not only an artist, but as a person. And it just really propelled me. It exposed me to all type of energies and styles that I never thought were even imaginable, which propelled me as an artist and as a lyricist and everything else to seek more. You know what I mean? Right. Being dope as fuck at your high school, that shit ain't shit. And I didn't know that. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like you in the cafeteria, you got 50 people. You lit, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like it was different. Yep. Like it was different. Now I'm on the corner, they're like, you all right, you little, but shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm low key like, damn, like, yeah, you're right. Like, because I'm listening to them, like, nah, low key, you're right. I should shut the fuck up because I'm not that good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like that. So,
I got a couple things really quick. Please, you sound like the funnest person to hang out with ever. So you were doing that at 13. I was practicing stick ball.
Yo, you wouldn't even believe.
The things your parents did for you, they forced you 2 years younger to be in kindergarten. I was held back, so I was the tallest kid in kindergarten. No one could even trace me with a crayon because I was too tall for the fucking paper.
Oh my God, it's like the opposite.
So I was the biggest kid at my recital, just banging the cymbals, singing like, well, do your ears hang low? I was 6'1".
You feel me?
Hey, I have to say the one thing, and I'll pass it around, but I have to say, man, that shit resonates so much because Brian and I up here, we make music and we rap, and we fell into that, man. And I'm glad you brought that up because not a lot of people admit that. And you found it out at a young age. I think you're great. I think that's very important. I remember Mercury's was on an Instagram Live with R.A. the Rugged Man, and they were talking, and Mercury said the one thing R.A. told him was don't become local famous. That was very important,
bro.
Very important. And we fell into that. Like, we released 2 mixtapes, and yeah, we had a buzz, but around town, and we thought, like, oh, this is it. And we never really expanded. I'm very happy that you brought that up because, like, I think for people listening, anyone, it's so important as a young artist. You might as well be famous out in Idaho with 100,000 people, you know? It's just, yeah, that's very informative, man. I'm glad
because it's so, and you know, even to this very day, I still see the shit just as rampantly as in high school, bro, where people are worried about who the king of insert city is. It's like, bro, we got the internet. First of all, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, bro, I've toured nationally, you know, 8-10 times, once completely on my name. I toured internationally multiple times now. Bro, why are you worried about this little microcosm? Like, there's there's enough for everybody, and then also that's just like limiting yourself to something that's so small of a scope, I feel. And it's like Kale was one of the first people to take my tiny scope and put it just a little bit bigger. High school fucking lunch table to which arguably the next step ended up being one of the most craziest, because that next step was the fucking quantum leap. You know what I mean? It was you're at the lunch table, now you're standing in front of otherwise. Yeah. And he's rapping and he's looking you in the eyes like you're next. When you're like, you need to rap next. Let's go.
God damn it!
It's like
that never happened to me.
You know?
Nah,
yeah, man. You're in Idaho, right? No, I'm playing.
No,
I'm fucking with you.
I'm no potato farmer. This is
I know. Yeah, but that's the thing. Whether, I mean, bro, if you're Jersey or New York, that's the end of the week shit or something like that. Where it's like there's another fucking threshold that these high school or whatever you thought you was good, and back, you know, around people that are cognizant of and very respectful towards the art of the musicianship, of the lyricism, of the respect and the honor. It's really a dojo, you know, in that way, because our discipline is, you know, our it's the same as a martial art. It's a you know, it's a verbal art, and we treat it with the same amount of respect and loyalty as any, you know, any student would teach any sensei at any, you know, because that's how important it really is. You know what I mean?
I don't want to hog this. Brian, you got something?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, when you were growing up, like when you first started getting into being like, all right, I want to rap, outside of like seeing the other dude do it like in school and stuff like that, who was someone that was like a major influence? Like you heard the person and you were like, holy shit, how does this guy do this like this?
The very first one was Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, right around that same type of shit. DMX, and Eminem on that same soundbite. That was Any Man, and I'll jump in front of a minivan. I remember my pops slapping DMX, Dark and Hell is Hot, and the other one, I forget, that came out the same year. 2 classic albums in the same fucking year. Maybe the only person that ever did that.
Is that Flesh of My Flesh?
These are in the exact same year, by the way. Yeah, I think he might be the only person off the top of my head that's ever done that. That has 2 classic albums in one fucking 9 months apart from each other or something.
Yeah,
that's not normal. That's not fucking normal, bro.
That's Irish twins right there.
And I was so Busta Rhymes, and you could probably hear it, Redman. You could probably hear a lot of this in my stuff even to this day. Those are some of the first earliest, you know what I mean? Because they were so you could see like a lot of the people that I just named, they're so animated. They're all larger than life,
right?
And they're also all very lyrically sound. Very technically beautiful writers without it being anything else. It's just so purely them. It's not robotic. It's just a pure fucking swag. I mean, Eminem now, duh, that's a different story. But back then, you hear a Busta Rhymes, it's like, he just sounds like he's just a cartoon character chilling. But the shit he's saying and the way it's written is fucking insane. You know what I mean?
I didn't appreciate Busta as much as I should have. When I listen to
people did.
Yeah, when I listen to his stuff from like when I hear it on Shape 45, like Put Your Hands on My Eyes Can See, he was better than
that was a national hit. That was a national hit.
Yeah.
You feel me? And so for a reason, and we were young. All of us were probably around a similar age, but that still caught my ear. You know what I mean? Where I was just like, I didn't understand it, but I knew something was crazy. You know what I mean? That beat's fucking. That's not a normal beat. That Missy or Timbo. That's not a normal beat. It's an insane piece of musicianship and the same piece of lyricism that comes together as a great song. And all I knew is it just sounded fucking trippy. And then you see that video with that fucking weird shit, which Busta always had the visuals. You take it all the way back, and it makes sense. You're like, damn.
Well, even in Woo-Ha, where he had all the shit blanked out on his coat.
You feel what I'm saying?
I remember, like, wait, what does he have? And that's the first time I ever knew you had to have logos blanked out.
Yo, you see what I'm saying? And they did that on purpose. It's shit like that that really influenced all of us into the type of culture that we love and that we ended up growing into. And so those were like very, very first. And then once I started getting around the actual people that I listened to on the No Can Do's, the free stuff, I was very enamored and looked up to them and was trying to fucking figure out what that magic was that they had, that they said that I had, but had ways to go or whatever it was, And so that shit was just became nigga on some fucking Harry Potter, like fucking Lord of the Rings shit. Like it was just like I seemed like I had a fucking quest, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, like I need to like realize this dream. And of course, along the way that shit didn't work out a lot of times, And by the time I graduated high school, I'm 16. I went to Cal State San Bernardino I went there for probably like 6 months. Full ride scholarship to do whatever I want, because my test scores are crazy, all this shit. Then I don't go to none of my classes except for English, psychology. I'm trapping. I'm doing all type of shit, getting all type of trouble and shit. But not enough trouble, like not real trouble. But they knew what was up. And I was just, I was I was a day away. It's one of those things. Like I had a couple incidents up there where I shouldn't even be talking to you right there, like right now, like on some real shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was like a fucking hair away from not being around here right now. Just put it like that. And
yeah. I don't want to be the reason SAHTYRE gets locked up. I don't need that type of shit in my life.
But it was
the
just
Dry Snitch podcast.
Yeah, you feel me? But yeah, this ain't no DJ Vlad shit. We already know.
Hey, he got in trouble for that.
But it was just crazy because I just felt that like, while I'm partying and making money, whatever I'm doing, like, the whole time I'm still going back out to the blow like almost every Thursday when I could, you know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. I'm winning fucking freestyle battles all in the area or whatever I'm doing, whatever. But it wasn't enough, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, this ain't, because it was still that low. It was that feeling I had at the high school.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, you're better than all these fools. Duh. Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you really finna do? And so I forget how this part happened. If you notice, I forget a lot of important shit in my life. But I remembered my nigga Dumbfounded, bro. Me and him knew each other like through rap, through the block, through Lamert shit. But we didn't know each other. Like we wasn't tight like that. We was tight. And he's like, bro, like you can fucking straight sleep on. First of all, he's already sleeping on someone's couch, on his sister's couch. He invites me to come live there to sleep on the floor of the couch of the place he's sleeping on, without like really, really knowing me, other than just really believing in me. And
that's so funny because it's not his place, but he's like, you come sleep on my floor.
It was not his place. No. Yeah. Hey, I'm smoking. I'm sorry. I didn't know if I could.
No, that's fine. Could you imagine one of our...
It's legal. It's legal.
I'm smoking. But so, yeah, he invites me to fucking stay on the floor of a place that's not his. It's his sister, but it's not his place. Like, he invites me to come live on the floor and I'm not like his best friend or nothing yet. Like, it's just like, this dude that's cool that rap with that I've seen every couple weeks for 2 years.
You're essentially a stranger at this point. I mean,
more or less. And so he's like, yeah, just fucking come sleep on the floor. Like, let's go. You know what I mean? And I'm like, bet, bro. So I put everything in one backpack, bro, on some Buddha shit. And I was just like, I left everything out there, bro. And I was like, let's go, bro. And that started like, that was in about 06, 07, because that was in 06, because the next year was the rap championships, which is in 07 or 08, right?
07.
Exactly. So then it was an 06 then.
Before I get into some of those battles, I want to just pass to our Cali girl. She hates when I say Cali. Elly, if you got any questions, jump in because I know you're from around sort of the area. So
okay. So I'm from the Bay Area originally.
I lived there for a little bit.
Okay, where?
In San Francisco, in Hayward, and in like outskirts of Oakland too.
Okay, cool. Yes, I'm from Oakland. So that being said, what are your opinions on Bay Area rap? And you have a voice very similar to Keith to Speak. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but your voice kind of reminds me of his. I was like, wait a minute, I know that voice.
I fuck with Keith. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, so about a few years ago, I lived in the Bay for about a year. I was in various parts of San Francisco, and then I was in Hayward for a little bit. I still have a deal. One of my publishing deals, distribution deals actually, is with Empire, which is like one of the fucking dopest labels, indie that's damn near major now, out of San Francisco. I've made fucking records with Rex Life Raj, that's my boy. Shout out to the whole Rex Life clique. And I fuck with Mozzie. I fuck with hella Bay artists because before I moved up there, I was always back and forth from the Bay. Like, I mean, y'all had my nigga Lush One on recently or whatever. I've been going back and forth to the Bay, like, before the battle shit, like, probably as long as I've been going to the Blowed. You know what I'm saying? Since I was a little kid. My first, like, road trip when I wasn't supposed to be gone is to the Bay, you know what I'm saying, with customer service and shit. So I've always been like a fucking honorary Bay member, you know what I'm saying? Because
pedestrian.
Yeah, like low key, just because I mean, I have a lot, you know, it's funny. People have always told me like I have a little bit of a Bay swag to me too, which is fucking weird, but I see it because a lot of my Bay niggas say the same shit. And especially like my East Oakland niggas, it's just like it's a certain type of vibe. But a lot of my like East Oakland, you know, it's on some like slick talking pimp shit. Those niggas is crazy. So
yeah, I taught in East Oakland. Yes, no, East Oakland is its own thing.
You feel me? Exactly. It's a whole different shit.
It's its own thing.
And so I've always had like love and respect for the Bay, bro. And music wise, come on, short and 40, that just goes without saying. But when you're talking about real originators, I was just about to say my personal favorite is Mac Dre, because that's everything that we stand for. That's everything that the culture is about, bro. It's one of a kind originality with true bona fide lyricism and ear for fucking a party fucking song and a vibe that you're giving out. The thing is that a lot of people get fucked up, especially when you're coming from like a background of like either like, can I see the lighter please, baby? You know, freestyling or battling in acapella style or whatever. It's like, bro, music's not about words, bro. Music is about feelings, like, period. You're using words in conjunction with rhythms and music and instruments to conduct a feeling. That's at least how I look at it. And so it almost seems, you know, counterintuitive because I'm such a student of and so intentionally say every single thing that I say, but at the same time the only reason I do that is to create the vibe. It's not about the words. It's all these rhyme schemes, the alliteration, all these things are tools that I'm using to create the feeling. It's not about the words. Like, I don't ever separate words from the beat. There's no beat and words in my songs. You know what I'm saying? There's songs. Niggas don't say, hey, kick that Jimi Hendrix verse. How does it go? And niggas just bust the verse. No.
That's a good point.
Because that's not, it's music. It's music. You can't really separate it. Yeah, the words are tight and yeah, the instrumental stuff, but how the fuck you take it away from each other?
Right.
It's supposed to be one. And so I think a lot of people have the tendency to forget that part, especially when they come from a background of word dominant rapping or whatever. It's like, yeah, bro, but the words are just one piece in that fucking puzzle. They need to just be, the words aren't by themselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Mac Ray, one of those people. Oh, sorry, but
no. I just want
to no, go ahead.
Oh no, I just wanted to say before we kept going forward, because you said the whole thing about the songs and like having it be, you know, there's not words in a beat, it's all together to make the song. Do you feel like, you know, the rappers that are like they try to be kind of too technical and stick like too hard to like a rhyme scheme and too up above kind of with lyrics wise, where it's like very compound words, a lot of syllables and things like that. Do you feel like that kind of stops them from creating that, and that's the thing that separates like somebody like an Eminem from that person?
I personally, I mean, all I can say about it is I don't really listen to it. You know what I mean? Because there's better feeling shit to listen to.
Yeah.
And
like real quick, a perfect example of it. You know who Dax is?
Yeah.
I feel like he's a perfect example of that because he's a really good rapper. Like he's a good lyricist. But his music sometimes, like I'll turn it on, listen to it, and I'm like, yo, this is just too much right now. It's just like attacking the shit out of your ears.
To me, it's like Eminem now. It's like there's a clear separation in the words and the music. So sharp, so sharply clear. There's a fucking chasm between the words and the music. It's words on the music. Like, see, I don't even create like that. People don't like. You can't send me a beat and then I just rap on it. Like that's not how that works. If we're working over the internet, nigga, your beat's gonna come back with shit changed, maybe some shit added, maybe the beginning is fucking flipped and fucking revert. Like it's gonna be a thing because I need access to all pieces of the fucking puzzle. Like I'm not just painting on top of something. Like it's inside of it. You know what I mean? It has to be one. And that was what I was saying. It's like Mac Dre. Listen to the bass sound. Listen to what you now call the new LA sound, quote unquote, which is really a little more hyper version of an old hyphy sound with a little more instruments. It's real. That was just created not solely by, but very popularized by Mac Dre. Yet, listen to all this shit. He's gassing. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's legitimately gassing. That's what I try to do. It's, make no mistake, I'm rapping fucking better than everybody. But that don't fucking matter.
Right.
If it's only that.
I have to just cut in because Elly looks like she has something to say about when you bad mouth.
Okay, so no, you're so right. LA music is kind of like low-key hyphy music. It's like rebranded hyphy. Like
that's what they call New LA, yeah.
Right, when you know that song by YG came out, Big Bank.
Come on.
My brother listened.
That's a fucking hyphy beat. That's a track a million. That's a track some. That should be a track some. Shout out my boy Trax. That's the homie. That sounds like a Trax a million beat, right?
My brother
a little bit faster.
I played it for my brother, and he's like, this is kind of bass sounding, and I was like, but it's YG, and he's like, and I was like, fuck, you're right. This does sound like a bass song. And then
that's a Keep the Sneak song. That's a Keep the Sneak song. That's a fucking Mac Dre song. That's a fucking E40 beat, yo. That's a Jacka beat. That's a Jacka beat. That's a Too Short beat. That's a Mr. Fab. That's exactly what I'm trying. That's my boy.
That's my boy,
yo,
Mr. Fab.
Tell me that's not their beats from 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Keep it really real. It's not a bad thing, but what I'm saying is, tell me that's not real. It is.
It's just
Blueface. Listen to a Blueface beat. Listen to a Blueface beat.
Yeah.
Stop it. That's literally Tracks could have made any of those beats. Like, it's real.
It's just great when you sit back and watch things formulate, and you two just talk about the West Coast. It's phenomenal to watch.
Andre Nicotina. Sorry, gotta cut Andre Nicotina.
Shout out
that's my homie too.
Shout out Andre. He's a real one.
I'm gonna pass it to Eric because he's him and his light and his litter box in the back.
My awful light here. This is normally how I look. These are gray walls, just to show how awful this lighting is.
Yeah,
I
don't believe nothing you said. That shit looks dark. That shit
looks like I've been smoking cigarettes since the 70s. It looks like I smoked cigarettes in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly. That shit is stained. Smoke stained.
I wanted to touch base about your I'm trying to find it now. Your article
On the revolt.
How the 20s, like it's interesting because of the pandemic and everything. It was like almost exactly 100 years ago, right? And I'm actually rewatching Boardwalk Empire, and they say the roaring, right? The roaring 20s were so wild because they were in that pandemic and had to wear masks and had to social distance if they even did it back then. And then, alcohol was banned and shit went crazy. But I want to hear your take and what you wrote about in the article as far as the comparison between 2020 and 1920.
And I want to add too, really quick. Sorry, Eric. Like it was same thing with that article. After you answered Eric questions, because I don't want to cut you off again. Was it hard to write about your experience? But you could answer that after.
You can put it all together.
Yeah. Gotta take some juice first. This gotta wet your whistle for this. Wow, what a white thing to say. Wet your whistle.
Are you my dad?
I got some of that weed in my throat. You hit the last little bit of the weed.
Yeah.
Talk about police injustice while you wet your whistle.
Right? While you wet your whistle, go ahead. But all right, so peep how crazy this shit is, man. So the whole thing is, so that article is basically like the editorial version of my album, The Roaring. So, 2019, about October, November. I forget how. Again, I forget. I forget the key moment that happens in every fucking like big moment of my life. But,
that's right. You could quote Shakespeare. So
all I just remember was I was falling down a rabbit hole. Boardwalk Empire is the shit, by the way. But I was falling down a rabbit hole about the Roaring 20s and the Black Wall Street massacre, the stock market crash, shit, the fucking prohibitions, the speakeasies and flappers and I'm like looking at my life. This is pre-pandemic. Thank you, sir. And I'm like, yo, this shit is like sounds just like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking around in my life. We got the after hours. Hold on.
You're gonna die on this podcast. That'd be another.
While you're drinking water, I love your vocabulary. Like I am.
Thanks, Elly. I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Not quite you, but no, your vocabulary is very impressive, and I'm very much enjoying it.
Scott said water.
All right, cool. Let's try this again. But so basically I'm like looking around and I just see the similarities. And I'm kind of like, I be reading like a hella science journals and like random shit. And right around that time, they were starting to talk about the coronavirus, which is just another type of, as many types of coronaviruses, whatever. But they were starting to talk about COVID-19 before it was called COVID-19. And I kind of like, not really a joke, like, but half joke. I'm like, damn, like, I bet you there's about to be something crazy like that happening. And I'm saying this in like November of 2019. And I swear to God, like, bro, this is well documented among all the homies. That's why the album's called The Roaring. It's The Roaring 2020s. Because about 2 months later, boom, and we're like, yo. So now I'm like going down the list and I'm checking off all the boxes and I'm like, 100 years ago, I'm on some mystical fucking, Mayan fucking time period, bro. Spiraling time, like, bro, it's 100 years ago. This shit look exactly like today. This is crazy. History always repeats itself, especially when you don't make corrections. The super flare up of the divide in political party and black and white, these fucking protests, the culmination of all the fucking, you know, Black Lives Matter shit. And I'm like, bro, ain't shit really fucking changed like at all. And every 4 years, every fucking 2 years, it's pushed to be like it is. But I'm pointing at the exact shit right now. You know what I mean? And you can't even deny it. Like, I'm looking at it. And so I had been writing these songs already, touching on what I'm going through, which is what they were going through back then. And had already been putting them together. And my publicist, my homie Justin Hunt, put me in contact with Aisha Thorpe from Revolt. And this is really special, honestly, for me, because it's really full circle to what we talked about previously, as far as like I always loved writing. I've always been a writer. I you know, other than raps and all and writing for other people in different genres, I do all of that, but I still write for fun, literature, all that shit. But I've never professionally, other than my raps, my music, or other people's music that I've written for them, I've never been a professional writer. And Justin's like, bro. So Justin Hunt is a ex-editor-in-chief from Hip Hop DX. He's a freelancer for Revolt and LA Time. Everybody. Justin Hunt is a legend. Justin's like, bro, what you need to do is write an article about what your album's about and also about your personal experience. Right. So, which goes into what you were talking about, because it's like, it was definitely a little bit, I wouldn't say it was hard to write about, but I would say that it was a new feeling to write about it, because
Seth, before you touch on it, I just have to say, because I'm very open about things.
Yeah, like, please.
I used to be the guy, honestly, I was the guy who was All Lives Matter, and I was if the guy just complied, he wouldn't have been shot. Yeah. But like, the more and more I've seen it, and, you know, I've kind of done a 180, and reading your article on top of it, you know, I was just more like, holy shit. So like, I just have to say, like, reading that type of stuff really does have an influence on people, especially people like me who were different, let's say even 9 months ago.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this, for real, you were a real ass nigga for saying that, bro. Absolutely. Because that's what we need, bro. You changed your mind.
Correct. Yeah.
You believe something for what we all believe what we believe because of everything that fucking ever happened in our life. You believe what you believed. You seen something else, and you fucking had the courage and the individualism to just simply change your mind, bro, which is okay. So I commend you for that. You feel me? And that's part of the weird feeling that I'm talking about, because my music is music, and I think it's a lot more subjective from person to person, what they get from it, what they feel out of it, what they take from it, regardless of what I'm talking about. Because it's a song, again, it's not just what I'm talking about, it's this whole soundscape, this whole feeling. Whereas this article is black and white. It's writing. It is the lyrics aside from the music. There is no music. This is that. Let's talk about it. And I don't know that I had ever done that, or actually, I had never done that in this depth or with this amount of prestige by far. And so now I have Revolt talking about, yeah, we love it, we want to run it. What's the PayPal? And I'm like, wait, what?
Good for you, man.
Like, you guys fucking, like, this is that, you know what I mean? It goes from these things, these near-death experiences, some of them, these other injustices that I didn't even realize, as crazy as it may sound, that I didn't realize was like wrong or whatever, to it being so important that happens, you know what I mean? And that people like you and anyone else, regardless whether they believed whatever that anyone could take something like that so powerful from it. That shit was incredible to me, and it definitely won't be. It's definitely not going to be my last one at all. For in that style at all. Like I'm writing plenty more editorials because I realize that people need to hear this shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if I have a gift for saying it in whatever way that makes people want to read it, hear it, whatever, then to me, that's my duty. It's like, what else are you fucking finna do? You know what I mean?
Right. No, it's really good. It's well written too, and we got all sentimental now. We got sad. Jesus, so we got.
Hey man, we gotta fucking pump it back up. The roaring.
Yeah, pump back up. I'm gonna bring it back to 07 with your battle scene at the WRCs. If you don't mind. If you don't mind.
Go ahead. No, good.
So one of my favorite battles you had was versus Rhetoric and No Can Do, when you said to Rhetoric, your dome looks like an astronaut's helmet. Oh, amazing battle. Like, so I just want to know how you got into the battle scene, why you stopped. Because I even tweeted, yes, I have been, following you for like 8 years, whatever. We finally we connected. It's fine. So I tweeted, I was like one of the two of the people who are the most underrated battlers in the past 10 years to me. And I don't follow as much as I did. It's just too hard. There's so many people out. I said Password, Satire. I said Pass and Satire.
Pass is the man. Yeah. Pass still battles though, don't he?
Right, yeah, he does. This was back in 5 years ago when I tweeted that. But I honestly said, and I remember someone tweeted you and said Satire used to be able to beat anyone, and you tweeted used to. I still could. So why'd you stop the battling? Because I think that was when your mannerisms and your humor, they were at their best. It just worked, man.
Thank you, man. You know what, man? Battling is fun, but there's a lot of there's a couple things. For one, the reason I stopped is really just because I don't have the time. I don't have the time to. And I have my energy focused on other shit that it's just battling for me from the beginning was always all right. So prior to WRCs, bro, battling is just like a part of my nature as an MC, and coming through a dojo like the Blow is being able to battle is not even separate from being able to rap as far as we're concerned over there. So it's, you think you're dope. It ain't he does this type of shit. No, you think you're dope, then fucking battle me and you got to be better than me. Period. So battling was never it's not this set up thing. Not I'm finna battle you. You know what I mean? It's just a thing. It's hard to explain, but you know what I mean? It was just this natural. It was way more natural. Whereas there's ciphers and you don't like what the fuck he's saying, or he think he's tight or whatever. And you just want to just exert your dominance, whatever it is. Because MCing and rapping is a sport as well. And any sport is hinged on competitiveness. So you're trying to show that you're the best. And that's what battling was. It was not you know what I mean? And so everything evolves as it should. So once it started to evolve, and then it became the first, acapella style, filmed, whatever, back and forth battles and shit. Me and Dumb and Disaster and No Can and Lyr Flip and Verbs and Alpha and of course the Source and Mac, but they weren't in LA and shit. All of us, we've been the only niggas winning every freestyle competition in Los Angeles for years. You know what I'm saying? Like period. There's a short list. There's 10 or 15 people on it. One of us was gonna win every fucking battle that happened. I'm not fucking playing. You know what I mean? That's just how it was. 75% of the time it's going to be no can do. Let's keep it real. And then it's going to be dumb. Then it's going to be me. Then it's going to be some other disaster. It's going to be something. But it was only going to be us. So it was so normal. You see what I'm saying? And then it started to progress into that. We're getting into that. Boom, boom, boom. The WRCs, bro, we didn't write shit.
Right.
Like we didn't know you were not supposed to, but we didn't think about the possibility. You know what I mean? We didn't even think like that. Let's just put it like that. Ilmac will swear to death that this motherfucker didn't have hella. He'll say, "Oh yeah, pre-meds, whatever." Anyways, Greg is
a lot of rebuttals by him if you watch that. Especially the choke slam for.
Oh yeah.
That's
Look.
I love Ilmac. Ilmac's my favorite battler of all time.
Let me just say this, and he'll never dispute this, but they were a lot more prepared than us.
Right,
Let's say that. It's just it's a fact. Because it didn't occur to us in our fucking like naive minds. You know what I'm saying? Because we just oh yeah, we battled. Like that's battling. Like we didn't give a fuck. We got fucked up the night before. We were like hungover, feeling shitty. We're like, yeah, we're gonna just go battle. We didn't like fucking realize there was gonna be like the most watched shit of all time. That like there was actually $50,000 in the life. Like we're just like these weird fucking rap kids. Like you know what I'm saying? And so we get there and we're still like better than everybody. Shout out to all the homies. But we can't fucking beat these guys. You know what I mean? We're like, wait. Oh yeah, this is impossible. Like we're not gonna beat them. They are perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like
you held your own though. You did go to overtime.
Thank you. The second time. Yeah, the second time. Oh, the second battle was good. Yes. Well, because every moment after the first battle, we were thinking about lines for them because we finally realized. Oh wait, maybe fucking think about some shit before you're standing in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think you said this to Soros. You were like, you look like a llama. You look like you dumped your face in a pool of piranhas. So you kind of got him on that. And you know, they were so good though.
They're too good. Nah, they're way better than us. And to this day, Ilmac is untouchable. And I ain't seen nobody fuck with him yet. So
I always say, and he's actually one of my biggest influences in music. I think when Ilmac's on his A game, no one can fuck with him. That's just me. That's just me.
In battling, you can't beat
battling, yeah.
In battling, you can't beat Ilmac. No, you can't beat Ilmac.
Yeah. But I want to touch really quick because you brought up Ilmac, that Brick song you did. Your hook on that, amazing melody, man.
Nice,
amazing melody. So I just want to give you props on that.
Fire too.
Yeah, I love that song. By the way, I'll pass it around again. I'm sorry how I get this. I'm sorry we're keeping it too, Sat. I'm sorry we're.
No, I'm having a great time, brother. Don't even.
Exactly. You put a lot of people put the limit on it, and then they see we're having a great time. They're like, yeah, fuck it, let's just bullshit.
I say that just in case I don't like you, and then I'm like, dude, I could just dip out.
That's like on a first date when the girl gets that call from her friend. Exactly. She's like, nah, I'm cool.
I'm like, yeah, I got 20 minutes, bro. Like, make this shit quick. And they're like,
I've been there. I'm like, how many times does your friend have an emergency? Yeah.
Every time, obviously.
I'll go back to Brian if you got anything.
What did you when you started? Because you were saying that you weren't really doing any like pre-writing for battles, right? So when you actually did do like pre-writing before, did you see like a huge difference?
Oh yeah, of course. That I'm not gonna lie, I still like freestyled a lot of shit, like versus all the homies that I battled, fucking Johnny Storm, because like I said, that's just where I came from. Like that's, to me, it's more poignant too. Like normally, like it's damn near a parlor trick sometimes, but it's like there's nothing more fucking jarring than just saying the nigga with the shirt right there. Like, you know what I mean? Like this, it's just, you can pre-write whatever fuck you want, but if I say some shit about this damn fucking hat that's right in front of every, you know what I mean? It's always better. It's always better. So the moment I see my fucking opponent or whatever, I'm always like, I'm just throwing, fuck those other bars. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking of way more shit. I'm like, because it's better. It's better. It can rhyme worse or whatever you want to call it. That shit doesn't matter. It's feeling. You feel me?
Mhm.
All that other shit doesn't matter. It's how does fucking people feel, man. And that was the thing, is like, that's why I stopped battling, is because I don't have the time to spend to be as good as I would want to be at doing that, because I'm not going to do anything fucking half-assed. And I'm just so immersed in making music. I just fucking fell in love with my instruments and just getting better at fucking, playing guitar and piano and fucking using my other instruments, my fucking Abletons and shit like that, and just songwriting and learning how to use my voice better and just vocally across the spectrum and rapping and singing and all of the above. And that shit is just so beautiful and lovely to me, and it's just also so time consuming. And then also on top of that, I'm getting fucking paid to do the shit. You know what I mean? So it's it's like a fucking snowball. So it's like, what the fuck else would I do? You know what I mean? It's like, bro, all I do all day is make music and shit. Like, that's what I do. You know
do you do your own production and stuff?
So me, Chase, Left Brain.
Awesome name, by the way.
Yeah.
Left Brain from Our Future. Yeah.
But it just I don't.
That's my dude.
Awesome name.
It's all it's all in-house production. I produce, I co-produce, I play guitar, I play keys. Like I said, I arrange or compose like most of my shit. Some shit is just, it's just purely Chase, because Chase is a wizard.
A beast.
Chase mixes Chase mixes all my shit. Jordan River recordings, they master my shit. Fucking, it's me and the whole squad, the whole LSD shit. It's me, my manager, the fucking engineers, the people behind the scenes, videographers, my nigga Adam. Shout out Adam Stanzak, all the fucking partners. G-Pin and Seventh Letter Crew, and fucking. It's it's a whole family shit, and it's like the shit that we've just been building over the years through the different albums and different ventures and different tours and different shit. It's just, bro, I can't battle nobody like the way that I would need. You know what I mean? Like
we had Locksmith on, and he said, we asked Locksmith why he didn't battle him, and he honestly said he had, and I feel like you're saying the same thing. He said he had too much respect for the craft. And he's
there's
not
no way I could battle anybody.
Right, he's not 100% in it at the moment. I'm paraphrasing, Locke. By the way, if you see this, I'm paraphrasing. He said, he has too much respect for it, so he didn't want to go into it like half-assed. And if he did, he'd want to be 100% in. And then we had Nino Bless on. He said that he can't really think about someone for 6 months. And it's just hard, And
that's what I'm saying. And for me, it's definitely not 6 months, but still, it's like I'm obsessive. And I also know that these other motherfuckers are just as or more, because they're way more practiced in that right now. It's like, bruh, I have a fucking, if I say, I'm a battle, nigga, I got a target on my back, and I also got a fucking plate full of other shit to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, again, it's similar to that. It's like, I respect that other warrior, nigga, way too much. I'm not gonna. That would be like boxing somebody. You know what I mean? Boxing someone without properly training. It's like, don't do that to yourself, and don't do that to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not how it is. I'll still fuck them up, but I'll have to like pull some tricks out of my. No, I want to be tip top.
Right.
At everything I do, and if I can't dedicate fucking hours upon hours of fucking figuring out a unique way to break you down, then I'm just gonna, keep doing what I'm doing.
I have one more question, but I just want to ask if anyone else has anything. Go for it. Elly, you got anything?
Yeah. So I don't know how close you are to Long Beach, but I know you mentioned you play guitar.
Oh yeah. Sure.
My husband has been playing since he was a kid. He's actually jamming right now. So if you want guitar lessons or you want tune-ups, you're welcome. You're welcome. Just get him out of the house. Get him out of the house.
You trying to push him out already?
Get him out of the fucking house.
What part of Long Beach?
Downtown.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
We live right on Pine. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I know
so
exactly where you're at, by the aquarium and shit over there.
Yeah, exactly.
The Liquid Zoo. Yeah.
Facts. Yeah.
But yeah, if you want some guitar tune-ups or you want some tips, he's more than happy to help you.
I'm always learning. You feel me? So it's all Definitely.
Can I just say, is an aquarium actually, that's a liquid zoo? Is that like a new thing? That's the first time I've ever heard
I got it from Vinny, and then I stole it. You got to cite your sources when he stole jokes. So yeah, that's what I stole it from. But that shit slaps.
It is more or less.
That shit slaps.
Yeah.
You tell somebody it's a liquid zoo, always a slap.
Brian, you got anything?
Nah, I don't have
All
anything.
right, Eric,
I'm ready for the gun to your head.
No, I got one more before we get to our final segment. Because
bro.
your music's so unique. It's like, it reminds you of like a rock type. Like it feels like, I know they say about Jay, he just walks in and goes. And like, I feel like you're kind of like that, where the beat plays and you just fucking go. So how did you incorporate, did you incorporate like any other music? Because I get a lot of classic rock type vibe, like whether it's I know you mentioned Hendrix in your verses, Hendrix, the Beatles, something like that. Like, is there any other influence that are not hip hop that would be shocking? Like me, I've mentioned a few times, I'm a huge Air Supply and Ace of Base fan, so I just want to know.
Most of my musical influences aren't hip hop. You know what I mean?
Give me a guilty pleasures. Give me a guilty pleasure.
They're not guilty pleasures. I mean, at any given time, bro, you'll hear me listening to anything across the board. It's gonna be some classical shit, might be some Rachmaninoff, some Bach, and then the next fucking hour is gonna be some Lily Allen and some Regina Spektor, some like fucking UK pop shit, you know, and then it's gonna be some fucking. Well, I mean, my favorite guitarist of all time is John Frusciante. Chili Peppers are one of the best bands of all time. I love Kiedis, obviously. Flea, all in. But Flea has a side project that's new called Atoms for Peace. That's Tom York from Radiohead and Flea and some other motherfuckers. That shit's insane.
Abs for Peace.
Atoms for Peace.
Atoms for
Listen to Atoms for Peace. The album's called Amok. It's like probably 5 or 6 years old now. It's one of the best albums. It's insane. I'm gonna be listening to some Flylo, some Kanye, I'm gonna be listening to some random house music, you know what I mean? Like, it's very seldom gonna be just like some rap shit until I'm like ready to just like turn up and listen to some rap shit or whatever type of rap shit it is, you know? It's like, I don't, especially because I'm always creating too. Like, it's like you said, a lot of times that's what I do. A lot of shit I don't write down. Sometimes I have a fucking whole song already written down, boom, boom, already figured out. And then sometimes it's the complete opposite. I'll just fucking play a little tune, fucking loop that shit, and then I'll just fucking freestyle fucking for however long and chop that up and then get a whole idea and erase that and then do that over. And then it's just however it comes out. Because again, it's just about the feeling. Like, I don't give a fuck about anything else other than is it great? You know what I mean? If I gotta get fucking that person to play this violin on this part, and then that person sing on this, and then me, I'm gonna do this, and then all right, fuck it, I can't do this part. That person needs to be done. Shit, this piano, I sound tight, but I should get the other homie that's better. It's about creating the motherfucking. It's about a whole vision, you know what I'm saying? So that's why when you listen to the roaring from front to back or from back to front, we engineered it to fucking literally listen either way on purpose. The BPMs and the way that it all, the keys of every song are literally, it's interwoven on purpose. Everything is on purpose. There's nothing on accident in anything that I do. And then the happy accidents that happen, we leave them there because those motherfuckers were supposed to happen too. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I create. It's just I try to be as thoughtless as possible. You know?
Is there anyone, obviously you could throw out, like, let's be honest, like your Eminem, your Crooked Eye or whatever. By the way, one of our favorite artists, Crooked Eye. But like, is there anyone?
Shout out Crooked, that's the homie.
Is there anyone we wouldn't think of that you really want to collab with? Someone like random, you know, like any one rapper that like people be like, yeah, I don't think Seth would like him, but like he does.
For real, I don't know, cause I'm really snobby. I mean, the thing is, I don't give a fuck if I care about the vibe. I don't care if they're a good rapper. I don't care about anything other than the vibe. So it's like I will work with anybody that's dope. That's it. If it's fucking fire and you're a good person and it feels right, then we can fucking make something crazy, because that's the only things that I operate off of is like the level of the vibration, like
Energy.
Fuck if you're popping, I don't give a fuck if you're rich, I don't give a fuck if you're amazing, unless it all fucking feels right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's what I operate off of. So I got motherfuckers that, you know, I've worked with motherfuckers that are the top, whatever you want to call motherfuckers that suck. Fuck them. And then I know motherfuckers that don't nobody know that got more placements, that are doper, got more money than anyone you do, and none of that matters because they're just good fucking people. And it makes sense. You see what I'm saying? It makes sense why they're where they are, because they're just good fucking people. Yeah. So it's like, that's how I work. Like
that. I have to say, this was one of the funnest interviews I've personally done. Real, honestly, this was awesome, man. I've been a fan for so long. But we have a final segment we do, gun to your head. Yeah. All right, so this is very intense. We each ask 2 questions, right? And it's a lot of wordplay since we kind of started as a hip-hop podcast. It's not your typical Coors Light, Bud Light. It's a little wordplay involved. And you pick a winner after we ask the questions. You have to pick your favorite question, okay? All
right, for sure. All right.
We're pretty intense about this.
That's it? I just picked the favorite question?
Yeah, but you got to answer the questions, though, as we're asking them. And then at the end, you'd be like, oh, my favorite question was.
All right, for sure.
All right, so because Erik cheats and he writes these down while these are going, we'll let him go first.
This is not that week. Okay, ready? Would you rather only eat Impossible burgers or find it impossible to eat a burger?
I would rather only eat Impossible burgers.
Okay. Would you rather never eat at Taco Bell again or always have to ring a bell every time you eat a taco?
I'd rather never eat at Taco Bell again.
Okay.
Erik,
what is with white people and Taco Bell? My God.
Taco Bell's amazing.
White people love Taco Bell. I don't understand it.
It's amazing.
I'll tell you why. Only thing that I really fuck with from Taco Bell is Mexican pizzas, and they took them off, bro. So fuck Taco Bell.
It's D-grade meat. It's amazing.
It's easy.
Yeah.
I've told this story before on this show. I once found a splinter in my taco, and I just flipped it aside.
Yo,
bro, I loved it.
Bread.
You know, I loved it so much that I was like, fuck it, and I just kept eating.
You were okay with it.
I'm okay with it because they've been good to me.
It's like filler.
They've been good to me.
Splinter Scotty.
All right, I'll go next. All right. Would you only rather eat at the Olive Garden or live in a garden full of olives?
I'd rather live in a garden full of olives for sure. Making martinis all day, bro, for sure.
Yeah, there you
go. Great question, by the
way. Every time. Why?
For 1 month, would you rather take a cruise with a guy named Tom or only watch Tom Cruise movies?
I would fucking cruise with Tom York, bro. That's my boy. Let's go. Let's go. We're cruising.
Follow up. Right, go on.
We're making an album too, bro. It's just about to be hard.
I agree. Remember that question.
All right. Would you rather battle Eminem or be caught in a battle where your only ammo is M&Ms?
Oh, shit.
I'd definitely rather battle Eminem, bro. That just sounds dangerous as fuck.
M&Ms are kind of heavy.
All right. Would you rather only be able to speak using synonyms, or would you rather eat a tablespoon of cinnamon?
Oh, shit.
Cinnamon challenge.
Shiza. Dookie. Poop.
They German poop words.
That was the answer. It's all synonyms, bro.
Oh shit! I didn't even pick that up. Wow.
I didn't even realize.
Wow.
Yo.
That's wow. You might win this one. I'm gonna give you the victory.
You win on that.
No, hold on. Hold on.
First guest to win, gun to your head.
Elly, do you have any or no?
No, I don't have any like cute alliteration questions like that. No. No, you've been a very interesting guest, and I love your vocabulary. It's awesome. Thank you. I love. I'm not an English person, but I do like words. I like learning like words. Like I'll sit and like look at the dictionary and like make note of words that like I don't know and like write them down, then go look them up. So I think that's like really cool how you
I
your
just read a
vocabulary
lot.
is fantastic.
You have to read.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
it.
fantastic. And
Thank
you remind me
you
a
so
lot of
much.
my uncle. My uncle did the same thing. He didn't talk till he was like 3 years old, and my
No
great
shit.
uncle, who's like a child psychologist, he literally told him, he just one day goes up to my uncle and he goes, well, I guess you just can't talk. And he's like, I so can too talk.
Whoa!
And they were like, yeah.
And he said it perfectly. I so can too talk. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I don't know, like you were like you're tripping, like what do you? Yeah, so just that
That's
sort of
cool.
reminds me of my uncle because they were like same thing. But like it's something, it's he having a processing
Yeah,
issue? Like
that's
it's
what they thought. Yeah, they were like, is he
what's going
all
on
right?
here?
And I was like, no, I can
Right.
read. Shut up. Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. So it just
That's
I
cool.
love
man.
this.
I really appreciate you.
I love this West Coast connection, by the way.
Satire,
you gotta pick a winner. You gotta pick a winner here.
Oh, bro, I'm definitely going with the one that I responded to in the actual form of responding to the question.
Taco Bell.
It's just, I mean,
I
I feel like we both. I feel like we won that one. So
The cinnamon.
I'm gonna go with
we.
I kind of feel like we won that one, so I'm gonna go with me.
You know what? I am
like
appalled. I am shocked. I really thought I had that one.
I loved yours too, but I feel like I'm involved in the other one, and I gotta bet on me.
Exactly.
So
You know what? I accept that. That's so.
You were a close second. No.
They each get a win. Oh, I get third. That's great.
You're a chopped liver. You gotta get the fucking. You gotta get the litter box together. No, I'm just playing.
I know it's my litter box.
That
It
before-
really is not yellow in here.
Where can we catch you? Give us your like Instagram and whatnot.
Man, catch me on
Oh,
TV,
yeah, I'll follow you right
boy. Just catch me everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Satire, SAHTYRE. I just exited the video on accident. Oh, there it
No,
goes.
you're still on. You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Fucking peep out the roaring. That shit was number 15 in the world the day it dropped. That shit was crazy. The roaring, we got the hindsight video out that just dropped 2 weeks ago. That's doing numbers, and we about to drop the new video for the song. I'm not gonna say which one for. Listen to the roaring. Follow me on everything. SAHTYRE. LSD all day. Love sex, drugs. I love everybody, and I appreciate the time for real.